Let me tell you about Family Life Services. It's such an amazing organization, and I'm so privileged to be a part of it. We are a long-standing ministry in Colorado Springs that has a rich heritage. The ministry was founded in 1942 by John and Ann Walden, originally as an orphanage. They had taken children in on their own, and prior to that, living in their own home off of North Weber. And then in 1942, they were donated the property in which we reside now. So being able to support Family Life Services really allows individuals, churches, and families to be Jesus to these families. And so what we want to do is we want to show you some of the stories of some of the families that we've helped through the years at Family Life Services.
Well, before I came to Family Life Services, I was in a marriage that I thought was going to last a lifetime. I was so excited to have found my spouse, and I had a child, he had a child, and then we had a child together. And we had a really hard time blending our family. We just didn't know how to do that, and everything just fell apart completely. I was, prior to coming to the marriage, I had a lot of baggage, he had a lot of baggage, and my mom was a teenage mother. She was 17 when she had me, 2 months shy of 18, and my father was a pool-playing musician, and they divorced when I was 5. My father left me and my mother, and so I was looking for acceptance. I was looking for love. I was looking for people to accept me for who I was. And I had just in and out of relationships, and being devastated, heartbroken. I'd always be rejected at the end of the relationships. And so there was a lot of rejection in my life from males. And so when I had found my husband that I married prior to coming to Family Life Services, he was 12 years older than I was. So I was looking for a father. I was looking for someone to take care of me, someone to love me and make everything okay. I thought he was my God. I made him totally my God. He was everything to me. I thought he was the answer, my savior. I think 3 weeks after we got married, things started to fall apart. And I think through a series of events, God was pulling me away from him to say, it was like my addiction. He was my addiction. I could not imagine living without him, because he was going to be my answer. He was going to meet my needs, and he didn't. So it all came to a head in the marriage, and it just totally fell apart. I was really devastated. I was seeing a therapist in Colorado Springs that I really trusted. When she said that she knew the director at Family Life Services, and she didn't really know what it was all about, but she said, just, give him a call. And so I called, and that's how that began. It was all for me about my relationship with the Lord at Family Life. I felt like that was where I really grew and understood how much God loved me and how valuable I was for the first time in my life, is, even in this horrific, devastating state, that God loved me so much. And I think through all of that, God said, and then bringing me to Family Life Services. And that's where I feel like God said, I am what you need. I am God. Your husband is not God. So I really felt like God had to pull me out physically from that relationship for me to have a relationship with him, and for him to be everything to me, my husband, my provider, the one who would love me unconditionally and value me. And he did that at Family Life Services through the counseling, through my understanding of him, through the Bible studies, the mentoring. That's where I really felt I met God. I understood, that God, who he was more, and that he loved me that much.
As you can see, God's really making an impact on the lives of the families and the children at Family Life Services. We want to thank you for your consideration, for volunteering with our organization, as well as your financial support. And just to know that this organization has been around for 70 years, serving the most vulnerable in our community. And we are so excited about your partnership because it's going to allow us to continue for the next 70 years.